Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
Ryan Seymore, king of comics out.
We're tuning in for episode 369. Oh, we fine. Can't believe we made it here. One more time.
Be sure to look at that picture. That's at the beginning of this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We were going to have dancers, but, you know.
Budget cutbacks.
Yeah, you know. It's one of those things. But we're looking for sponsorship and Patreon members. So if you want a big blowout, like we want, you know, dancers, you know, graphic novelties.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, you know, I'm a writer. That's what we come up with. Okay, so starting off with the news.
Yes.
Because we got some good books, y'all. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, there's some good books. Yes. But we're going to start off with some comic news. Okay, so dropping this week, we saw the teaser trailer for the Eternals movie. Yes. MCU is rolling out with like a brand new series of characters that we may or may not have seen. May or may not. I want to say it like that because maybe they were in the background somewhere.
Yeah, there's some movie where one of them was floating around.
Yeah. Just kind of.
I can't wait for it. I'm such a fourth world cosmic entities nerd. So like when I first heard this was getting made, I'm like, all right, I'm in. Like, I don't care.
Give me Kirby.
And yeah, we're looking at the cast looks solid.
Yes.
It's got that ancient aliens traits of the gods action that I'm gonna just.
Which do you think they're leaning more into, the Kirby version or the Neil Gaiman, John Romita Jr. version?
I don't know. Visually, it looks more Gaiman and Romita, but the vibe of like them just showing up and being like, "Hey guys, here's how you make a whatever."
Yes,
was super.
The scope and scale, super Kirby stuff.
Because that first cover, we're like, "Oh, the space gods have returned."
Yeah. Okay, so in your estimation, if you could name someone to do this soundtrack, who is doing the soundtrack to Eternals? If you were in control, if you were the Kevin Feige making music choices,
that's a toughie because they're so they're so ethereal, they're so above humanity. Oh man, I know someone would hate it if I said Trent Reznor.
We do know someone who would hate that.
But I don't know, like maybe because he's I don't know. That's a toughie.
I just thought I'd throw it out there. Yeah. I would totally George Clinton it.
Yeah.
Funkadelic the crap out of that. Like just like Guardians eat your heart out. You're not ready.
Nothing can
handle the funk, okay? What would you do?
John Tesh and Enya.
I'm gonna throw my phone at you. Because you're right.
I mean, hold on now. That would kind of...
Yanni's just sitting on the sidelines? Y'all gonna...
Special guest appearance.
My Yanni.
He's on the remix album.
Wow. Okay. Yanni, and then, what's the cellist?
Yo-Yo Ma.
There we go. It was a super group. There we go. Yes. Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
You would both want to fall asleep and ride elevators at the same time to whatever they came up with. It would be fantastic. You'd be the most relaxed. You would instantly pee on yourself. Like that level of relaxation. You couldn't even stop it. You would just be like, my body is just...
is that the guy that played Ed Stark? Rob Stark?
Yep. Absolutely. Okay, so you just told me about another trailer that I had not watched.
Yeah.
Until you told me about it. And what?
Yeah, Edgar Wright's new one. It was One Night in Soho.
Last night in Soho. And
if time travel and Black Swan had a baby, that's what it would be.
Yeah, go ahead. Put that in your brain pan. Let that just resonate right there. Yeah. That happened.
Yeah. Watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Because like you're like, oh, okay, cool. I get this. And then that first thing hits,
and you're like,
wait a minute.
That's not okay. Why did that happen? No, stop. Yeah. It's all of that goodness. Edgar Wright, of course. We all know and love from the many things, Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Yes, please and thank you. You know what I'm saying? Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Let's go. So, wonderful palette of things under his resume. This is definitely one that I'm going to be checking out. Now, you watched the first episode of MODOK.
MODOK on Hulu.
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt, brainchild. Like he pitched it to Marvel, and Marvel's like, yeah, go ahead and do whatever you want with these tier 3 reject characters. So we got Patton Oswalt, voice acting MODOK. MODOK is in charge of AIM, and AIM is going out of business in the first episode.
Oh my
and
God.
It's him working with kind of the equivalent of Google to keep AIM alive. Yeah, it's
SEOs.
oh my gosh, it's fantastic. It ends with a divorce.
No. Okay.
Yeah, but my God, yeah, it's super. If you want to see Fing Fang Foom as a restaurant, yeah, it's just
Not as a restaurant.
yeah.
Is it at least like an original or is it a chain?
I don't know, but
Okay.
Fing Fang Foom is a waiter there. Like
My God.
yeah,
Oh.
it's super absurdist humor. It's Patton Oswalt just having
it.
fun. That Marvel's letting him do whatever he wants with these characters.
Oh
so.
my God. Is this like all bingeable or is it 1 week
Yeah, I think
release?
it's one. If it's not weekly, I'm missing out. But
Okay,
I know we got Wonder Man's going to be in it, voiced by Nathan Fillion.
I'm
Yeah.
watching as soon as I get home.
Oh, yeah.
That's happening. Okay. Now, for the things that you guys tuned in for, obviously, because you like the show, you love the show, you love it so much you've already subscribed.
And hit like.
Okay, so we've got some amazing books this week.
Yes, we do.
What in the world happened? Is something going on where publishing needs to hurry up and happen? Because you got like 50 million books this week. I read 9 books this week.
Is it a moment in time of comic history where there's just so much good stuff coming out?
This is the question.
Because we might be in a golden age.
I am all for a new golden age.
Yeah.
Let it be. I mean, the industry is changing, so it is only right that the best work is really kind of frothing and coming out. So I'm all for this.
Jace.
100% I'm all for this. Okay, jumping right in, we've got one that's the same, and then 2 that are different. Where do you want to go?
Actually, if you'll let me go first.
I will.
There's one that came out, Titan Comics, this week.
Yes.
Little Victories, Autism Through a Father's Eyes. This one is, it's
my God,
really,
that's
really close
beautiful.
to home. I've got two children on the autism spectrum, one of them nonverbal. And this character, I empathize with this father so much. We have different paths that we've taken in terms of how this character's personal life goes. But there are so many moments in it that, like, from like the first moment you find out, why is my kid not talking, or why is my kid making lines with cars, through like just as the child is growing and everything. It is so well done. It's in black and white. It's basically a graphic novel.
That's beautiful.
And it's as a parent of someone with special needs like that, sometimes it's a very lonely experience because it's hard to if you're curious what a family is like with in this situation, or if you yourself are a family in this situation, I highly recommend checking this out. It's really good. Thank you.
That's awesome, man. Shout out to Titan Comics for putting that out. I'm not going to front. Like, when I first saw it, I didn't read the cover, because it clearly says on the cover, but I immediately got Calvin and Hobbes vibes.
It does. Like, the cover has that thing.
Yeah.
And it's for the cover for me, for both of my kids, for whatever reason, it's foreheads touching. Like, that's like one of the ways that we show affection. So yeah, I was just
That's beautiful, dude. That's awesome. How do I follow that?
That's a toughie.
It is. Okay, I'm going to go on the affection side,
Okay.
and we're going to talk about Beta Ray Bill number 3, so Bill is obviously on this quest to get a new weapon. If you've been reading it, you know exactly what weapon it is. I'm not going to spoil, but you know. What I will spoil, though, is last issue, it ends where Scuttlebutt takes on like a humanoid form for the first time.
Yeah.
And this is kind of dealing with the outcomes of this. And you almost get this sense that Scuttlebutt has very strong feelings for Bill that no one, not even Scuttlebutt, knows how to articulate, because Scuttlebutt has always just been this unsubstantiated voice in the ship. But now that there is a body, a person, does that affect things? Especially considering that part of the motivation for Bill on this journey is the fact that in his raw, form, he is considered unattractive.
Yeah.
So if there's someone who finds him attractive or just loves him, period, for who he is, what does that do?
Yeah.
Particularly if it's somebody that you trust, you love, even if you never thought of them in that way because there was no reason to.
Yeah.
Now that there is, what does that do? Now, obviously, if you look at this book, I mean, it's Daniel Warren Johnson, so it's amazing.
Yeah.
But there is plenty, and I say plenty of action to go along with the sentimental talk that I just gave you.
Yeah.
And when I say lots, people die. Lots of people die in this one, and it's glorious and amazing. Not that death is glorious and amazing, but when it's done in this manner, there's nothing else you could call it. I just got to be honest. Like, that's just what it is. Yeah. So, super fun. I'm enjoying this journey completely. It's a good read. Get that.
Death is glorious and amazing. AfterShock Comics, I Breathe the Body, number 5. We are at the end of this chapter, this story that Zach Thompson and Andy McDonald are bringing us. Where to begin? All right, so if anybody from AfterShock is watching, or Zach is watching, Comic Town is doing an exclusive cover. I'm just calling dibs. I don't even care what the book is. If Zach Thompson is writing it,
throwing it out there.
So Zach AfterShock, whatever the next one is, I don't care if it's like The Adventures of the Perky Banana. I don't care. We're doing the cover for it. So
Perky B.
Yeah. God, please don't.
Perky B comes to Comic Town.
Hi, guys.
You want to get peeled with me? That's what we're doing. Yeah, you just did that. Good job. It's the Perky Banana. It's the Perky Banana cover. Those belong to you now. It doesn't even matter what this series is.
Yeah, that's me. So we've got this story that Zach's, and it's a complex story. It's not one that's like your easily accessible kind of pop story, where social media is part of this mystical sort of thing, and this father, if you can call him a father, because we get it's horrible. I'm trying to think of the elevator pitch for it. It's one that's going to read very well in trade paperback. That I highly recommend. And it's if you're fans of Existence and Hellraiser and just it's something just bleak, because this dude is mortgaging reality for his dreams, and it's
the problem that I have, because I read the first issue.
Yeah.
The problem that I have is that the absolute carnage in this book is tactile. Like you can feel it, you can almost taste it from the page. And I had to tap out because it's one of those things where I was like, I can't deal with that kind of energy in my life. You did that too good. Zach, like your storytelling in it is one that makes you question what you understand about life and value. And that's messed up, right? Like literally coming out of like a pandemic situation, for you to get something that is so like, but does it matter if no one liked it enough?
Yeah, if nobody was watching.
If nobody was watching.
Is it real?
Is it that? You're like, this is taking the Matrix and like flipping it over and then like statting it a bunch of times and then like, I don't know. But it's a good book. It's a good book. Even me only reading the first issue because I had to tap out, it scared me. Yeah. Okay?
Like if you're not...
I can say that.
Okay with violence levels akin to like Hellraiser or the last half hour of Audition, I would stay away. Yes. But like, because when you're the transformation of this person from what they are to some deity, some idea. Yeah.
Their realized self becomes, it's a little less textured. Batman Black and White number 6. Okay, so let me just give you the list, right, in the back of the book. John Arcudi, Elsa Chartier, there we go. Pierre Collinet, Nick Darrington, James Heron, Klaus Janson, Jesus Marino, Kari Randolph, my guy, John Romita Jr., Scott Snyder, my guy, Babs Tarr, Brandon Thomas. Okay, so this is a mix. This is a great mix of stories. I have feelings about one of them. And it is the inherent undertone, the context of this situation. And here's the thing, like there's a lot of people that are critical about Batman in a lot of ways. And I'm not going to tell you which story it is. I want you guys to read it and see if you can figure it out and let us know in the comments below. In the context of this story, it says something about Batman that I've never wanted to be said. Like never.
Yeah.
It's an idea of a criticism that he's making, and on the basis of how Batman operates, I would never want him to make that criticism. Like, ever. And to even see it, I'm almost like, what? What?
Yeah, because, can't really say anything.
Yeah, like, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm still like, nah.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do. Nah. Come on. Really? You really think he's that way? This is just a thought.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see if you guys can figure out that grand mystery. But definitely check this out. The cover alone had me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, is this a poster? Is it going to be?
It should be.
It definitely should be. I mean, this is one of like the best John Romita Jr. covers I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's iconic.
In DC, you've already got the art.
Right,
that's the mind blowing.
and you didn't gotta color it either. Like, just keep it black and white.
Yeah.
Just make it 36 by 24 inches and sell it.
Ta-da!
I'll buy 3 right now. Point them out. I'm just saying. That at least covers the cost of printing something. I'm just saying. Come on.
One of the books that makes it so I don't trust nobody is Casual Fling number 4.
Listen. Jeremy's already got deep fakes of us. So,
Right? Oh, man.
where does this go?
I get to wear the mask, right?
Yeah. That's so dark. It's so dark. Okay, Casual Fling number 4. This is AWA Upshot, Jason Starr, Talibor Talayic. I'm never gonna get it right. Talajic. Okay, all right.
I apologize if
All
I'm
right.
wrong.
Yeah, if we're wrong, we definitely apologize. So we've been adoring this series, right? It's not superheroes. It's not fights and tights. None of that, right?
It's blackmail.
Yep.
It's revenge.
Relationship drama.
Yeah, and these characters are complex and rich, and the ones you feel for, you also blame, and then the ones you blame, you also feel for.
At the same time.
Which is not an easy thing to do, and it wraps up.
No, say it. It's too clean.
It's
too clean.
Like, this is one of those.
Too clean.
It could have been, especially because it goes to a place that is horrific.
Yes.
In this particular issue, in terms of what the bad guys are doing, and it really feels like it could have been like a French horror movie where just
I'll do you one better. This could have been a back-to-back episode of Law and Order.
Yeah.
Like, if it had a Law and Order ending it's an ending, but it's not wrapped up. It's not necessarily pretty. Not everybody wins.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting from this.
Yeah.
So to get a clean ending, I'm not saying I'm disappointed, but it was too clean.
Yeah.
I want to know the director's cut ending.
Because there had to have been. Like, what other ideas had you all like pitching to each other? Because loved it. Just, I kind of wanted that end.
Yeah.
Like, there was something.
The gritty, like, what's the Grindhouse ending? I know you got a Grindhouse ending, man.
Yeah. There's one that probably was shot down. Like, oh yeah, you guys can't do that.
See, that's the one I really want to know. I want to know it. 2 sentences, Jason. If you guys can just share whatever it was that you had intended, that somebody stepped in and was like, not today, or this is no longer 1990s, or this isn't the 1980s. You can't do that. Like, what was it? Because this was clean.
Yeah.
It was too clean. So what's the real version? What's the real? We still loved it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely read it. Like,
or it's like splitting hairs.
Yeah, like, literally we're like, too many people ended up happy and surviving this story.
Like, no.
But I mean, again, he likes I Breathe the Body. So, yes, this would absolutely be too clean with that one. So, but definitely the intrigue, I mean, we're talking Fatal Attraction level.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. But I needed a confrontation. I needed...
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, something. You know, I need somebody to get punched. Somebody's got to get punched.
Yeah.
I'm not saying where they're getting punched, but somebody's got to get punched. Just throwing it out there. Okay.
Now for Acrylics.
Yes.
The best of the best of the best.
We've got 2 that are the same. One that's gloriously different. I'm still upset. Where do you want to start?
Why don't you start with that one?
You want me to start with that one?
Start with that
You want me to start with that one? I'll start with that one.
Dang.
I have no problem starting with that one. This is what happens when you get to the books first and you make choices Right? Actually, no, because what he has is one that I didn't even see, so it's my own fault. Like, it was too many books, okay? It was too many books. There's a wall full of stuff here. Okay, Destiny New York. Pat Shan.
I tried to send you an email, Pat. Hopefully it got through.
Yeah, hopefully, because we need to talk. I need to audioly smooch your face for this book. Okay, so Pat Shan is the writer. Manuel Pretano is the artist. Yeah, Jim Campbell does letters, edited by Shannon Lee. Great job. Okay. Everything is crashing to a head here. Okay, we've got the idea of people are born with destinies, almost a magical sense. They have been, rallied together, going to a school where they are learning to live up to their destinies. And we follow this particular young lady who peaked early. Her destiny, what it was, she did it like 12. So
what do you do?
What do you do, right? She's living her best life, or trying to at least, and she's stumbling through a series of circumstances because, again, other people's destinies are still happening all around her. And she stumbles into a situation where, as love would have it, she stumbles into possibly the stickiest situation possible.
Yeah.
And it is such a non-comic book, right? Like, it is comic book in format and design, but when you tell somebody that you read comics, this isn't what they think of.
Yeah.
But man, should they, because this is glorious.
Yeah.
Absolutely glorious. Look at the line on the back. Tell me you'll never lie to me again, and I'll go with you. Tell me you'll never lie to me again, and I will go with you. It's that level. Like, yeah. As a 40-year-old father, reading this adventure of sorts, this love venture of a 20-something lesbian in New York.
Yeah, you should, like, how there's no...
I am not the demographic, and yet I'm absolutely the demographic because I freaking love this book.
Yeah.
It is well written. The dialogue is good. The pacing, the storytelling, everything about this story is on point.
Yeah.
Everything.
The visual aspects of it, I mean, it's just...
is gorgeously rendered. Like, you love the characters. We got introduced to another character in this book. And, yep. World building is fantastic. Mm-hmm. Like, Pat, seriously, take a bow. Like, wherever you are. I don't even care if you're on the toilet watching this. Just lean forward. You're good. Like, just do it. Just please. For me, one time. Because this series, not even just this issue, this series is dope. Mm-hmm. High marks. Not for the kiddos. It is mature because it does have some very sexually explicit tones. Mm-hmm. But, if you are senior in high school plus, this might be a vibe for you. Like, you need to know, like, stories like this exist because... they do. Yeah. And that's powerful enough. Like, right there. It's great. Damn it. I can't believe I didn't see this.
The book I beat Vic to. Alien, number 3. See, this is... we had all those years of substandard Alien books coming out. Like, the Xenomorph is in it, but it just sucks. Mm-hmm. This book has no business being as good as it is. So we've got Philip Kennedy Johnson, we got Salvador Larroca, we got Guru Effects. One of the really cool things about this story is it is a father trying to, as best as possible, save his son that is estranged, and it's not because the kid has gone off. It's the father has. But mixed in with it is this fight to the death. You're trapped on a space station with a xenomorph, and we're catching these glimpses of what the full story is.
Oh my god.
And we're finding that it just simply isn't this dude worked for Weyland Yutani.
You already know that's bad.
That's
it's
not
never a good thing.
It's not a good sign.
Yeah.
But that there's some kind of history where he has done something that is really, really reprehensible, and it is coming back to haunt him. Larroca's art is just brutal. Like when you see like the chest bursters, you see the xenomorphs. The way he renders that character, it's like photo realistic. So like it takes you to this world that you know. And
I did not mean to just squeal like that.
Right, but it's so well drawn, and just the dialogue. It's like almost a Tarantino type moment where it's these people are stuck in a really crappy, tense moment, guns drawn, and they're having this sort of very, very intelligent, I know that you know, kind of back and forth, when both of them really just want to shoot the other in the face, but they can't. It's really, really,
I love it.
Really, really awesome.
Philip has another book out this week. Was it Action Comics? It's either Action Comics or Superman. I can't remember which one now. It is Action.
Yeah, it's Action this week.
I read that one, and you're building stories, sir.
Yeah.
Good job. He is like a phenomenal writer. Like he's quickly becoming one of my favorites.
Yeah,
and also adds to why I'm so upset that I didn't actually see that one. You live and you learn. Okay,
this is a tough one because they're radically different books.
Yes. We got to talk about this one.
Yeah,
we got to save this. We got it. Okay, from Vault, the Blue Flame #1.
Like I was sold as soon as I read Christopher Cantwell was writing it.
I didn't even.
That was my. Well, I'll give it a shot.
It's my fault. Christopher Cantwell, Adam Gorham, Kurt Michael Russell. That's where I should have said yes, because his work on Money Shot,
which also shipped this week.
It did.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how mad I was.
Right?
I had choices, and it hurt. It hurt so bad. I saw Money Shot, and I was like, I got too many books in my hand. What am I supposed to do? Okay. So, not knowing what this was, I was intrigued, because Vault, I think, is playing around with some great stories. Like, they're kicking out some fun stuff.
Yeah.
And so, seeing something that is all spacey superhero, I'm like, let me see. Let me test it.
Yeah, because they're very much not a tights and capes kind of company. They're letting, in that really cool mode of letting creators come in and just do what they do.
Right.
And so, I was kind of wondering, like, is this going to be like their first foray into like superhero stuff or space adventures? And man, it's something.
It's so many different types of stories at once.
Yeah.
And they don't crash into each other. They don't run over one another. They flow really well. You get like a very big concept story, and then we're going to slow down and build before we get back into like reaffirming the stage of the big concept movie.
Yeah. Because, all right,
this is good.
I love Tom King.
Yes.
But when I'm reading this, I was like, man, this is a better Strange Adventures than the Strange Adventures. Because Strange Adventures right now is really, really good. Tom King's writing it. And it's Adam Strange, potentially guilty of war crimes.
Yes.
And so this story, which is not ripping that off at all, which
no.
I'm concerned that it's going to sound like.
Right.
There's like a Green Lantern Corps, like Space Ranger kind of character. And he's exploring the cosmos and doing what he does. And it ties into this very other story that it's this very grounded, like real life superheroes, like but like just dudes and women saying, you know what, I'm going to put on a costume and I'm going to fight crime.
It's very Kick-Ass 2.
Yeah.
But celebritized.
Yeah.
And maybe they're only local heroes, but at the same time, like, this is them trying to, create this vibe.
And we don't know which reality is which,
right?
Or if they both are. And so Cantwell is playing with all these things. The art is just amazing.
It's really solid.
It evokes this feel of like the epic cosmic DC stuff from like the Silver Age, which it's
amazing. It's absolutely amazing. What I really appreciate about it is the hinging on the characters, right?
Yeah.
So because this is something new, you could go at it and say, okay, high concept, that's what's going to sell it.
Yeah.
But instead, what we have here are characters that are being built as we're literally reading and seeing their interactions, and how they're interacting becomes this very intriguing place And it's done so well because there are questions that are set up that aren't answered, but in a way that is normal for conversations based on something somebody interrupts. Yeah. So you don't go like, well, how come he didn't answer that question? But the idea of the question creates this sense of there's relationships, there's history. These people are real. It's not just this moment on the page. Yeah. There is time that stretches forwards and backwards, and that is dope. Yep. Like that's sweet. That's it's so good. It's so good. I really enjoyed this.
I didn't expect to as much as I did. I was figuring I was going to like it because almost everything that Cantwell has written comic wise I've loved, but just the way it pulled me in, doing the things you just described, where there's the conversations, and you're like, oh, okay, this is an extension of something else that they were discussing.
This is my favorite part.
Yeah.
Because we have no idea what this is.
Yeah, no idea whatsoever, but it's so compelling, and in that moment, there's this sweetness that you can feel the care. Yeah. And then you go to that next thing, and
you're like, wow, where does this fit? Who are these people? Like, that's the thing that makes it so amazing is when you ask the question, who are these people? Not because you're confused, but because you're genuinely
want to know more.
Yeah, like I'm interested. I'm invested.
Like this dude.
What is? You know what I mean? Like Cobra Commander's second cousin. Like what is he? I don't know, but I wanna. Yeah. And it's really, really good. So definitely check out Blue Flame #1. Vault, good job.
Good job,
man. Like super good job.
And you're gonna want to pick it up. And here's something. Stores Vault has returnability on this.
Okay.
So you're going to want to get it because at the end of the cycle,
they send it back.
Yeah. You don't want to miss out.
Yep. Grab that. You know, as I understand it, the individual issues of this are going
just skyrocketing.
Crazy.
Just skyrocketing.
And
how does this one not do the same thing?
It's gonna. Boom Studios, Something is Killing the Children, #16. James Tynion IV. Werther Deladera, Miguel Muerto.
We've been wondering, like, how did Erica Slaughter get to the House of the Dragon? Like, how do you go from, or do you start out as a normal person who then gets brought into it, or are you born into it? Well, we're starting to find out.
We find out some, in leaps and bounds we find out. And James, sir, you are a virtual master of snap dialogue that builds attitude. I don't even want to say characters, that build attitudes that you immediately either latch onto because you're supposed to or you hate because you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And just without question, it is some of the best storytelling. Like, I love it. The weird thing about Something is Killing Children is that it's never a long read, but it's always a fulfilling read.
Yeah, you go through it fast, but along the way there's so much that you take in, which is such a difficult thing to do.
Yes. Especially considering that virtually none of it is told in captions. So you're not narrating to anybody. This is literal people engaging, interacting.
I don't think there are any captions.
I don't think so either. Like, it's not a voiceover, no, none of that. So, like,
how do you do that? It's just dialogue.
You're just people. It's almost like watching a movie.
Yeah, it's a 12-year-old girl. On a road trip with an adult who just saved, or I don't even know if she saved.
I mean, I can't say based on what she said. Not quite. Like,
so how do you? Yeah, it's
amazing
because seeing her. The beginnings of Erica, the Erica that we know, is it's so good. And the explanation behind the bandanas, that is so
dope,
Because I couldn't figure out like why were there these differences, and the simple, elegant explanation
is right there. It's right there.
Yeah, like holy crap.
Yeah, simple. But the thing, okay, so what I adore about this is the like literal domino effect of the storytelling. So when we first started this series, it was like a simple murder mystery that actually had monsters.
Yeah.
So you take your best Scooby-Doo, but then like instead of it being Mr. Weathers, it's an actual monster.
Yeah.
Like actual. Then you have the fallout of that event and needing to figure out what to do with that fallout.
Yeah.
Now we're going, okay, we've got this one character that we've been introduced to that we really don't know a whole lot about.
Yeah.
Let's find out about her. Which means that there's another layer that says this organization that she's a part of, there's a story that's about them.
Yeah.
And where did they start?
Yeah.
And then there's another, like there's so many different layers. It's like
Yeah.
a Russian doll of storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant because you start here and you build out.
Yeah.
Now, eventually, I'm sure there's going to be something that brings you right back to the core.
But in that meantime, with each of these issues, the world, the more that you find about it, the richer it becomes.
Yes.
Yeah, this is just one of those books that superficially, like, oh, it's a story about like people that kill monsters. I've read Buffy or whatever.
Slow down.
But James and the rest of the creative team is bringing something completely different to this, and this one. It's the beginning of the origin of Erica Slaughter.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're worried about getting copies as they go up in price,
You're going to want that now.
Yeah.
Not now, but right now. Okay, we're telling you, spec, you need to get that, like, right there.
And what was crazy too for this story,
Yeah.
when Berserker came out and there was like the special limited edition version that you would get during that time period, the trades 1 and 2 for Something That's Killing the Children were not available. They were going for like $60-$70 on Amazon. Wow! So that's just how good the story is.
You got any of issue or the second trade? Do you have any of those in?
I'll have to double check. I know we've got ones, but that just tells you, like, if people are willing to drop $60
Right.
on a trade, how good that story has to be.
It's got to be amazing because it's like seriously sitting there looking at you on the cover that this thing is only supposed to be like $20.
Yeah.
And you're like, I paid 3 times that.
Yeah.
But I'm happy.
Right, like, oh, I can wait 2 weeks. No,
I need it.
No,
I
that's
need it.
Just that good.
Gimme.
The
It's
entire creative
amazing.
team just
Absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my God, there's so many good books. There's so many that we actually had to put back.
right. What did we miss? Comment
Oh,
below
my
with
goodness.
what the books we're missing this week.
Yes. Let us know what you got into that we did not. Teach us the things, and then as always, like our Facebook page and comment on there when Rye puts up the final order cutoff stuff to tell us what we should be reading.
Yeah,
because
got that info, and with that too,
Yeah.
you can contact your local shop and be like, I see this is coming up, and you need finalized orders. Can I get this book?
yes.
Don't miss anything.
Get that engagement. And obviously, in terms of engagement, you are more than welcome to like this episode because we want you to do so.
Yeah.
Click that thumb because we need that validation in life.
And we do this every week. So
Yep.
click the subscription and the bell,
Yes.
and we'll let you know. And then everything. Vic and I are on Instagram and Twitter, very easily found at IrishRye39
Boom.
and at Vantage In-House.
Boom. And yeah, we do this stuff. So if you like comics, and we know that you do because you're here.
I was going to say, if you're this far in and you don't like comics,
Well, and maybe they just think we're cute. What's up, Taika?
I hate him so much. He's my hero.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Love and thunder. He's love and I'm thunder. Or I'm love and he's thunder. I don't know.
I'm disappointment.